Okay, so guys, today's lab is going to be about the law of refraction. So the identical setup to the one we did with reflection, is that the only difference is instead of using the mirror, we're going to use the lens, the cylindrical lens. So we'll start out, the setup is identical. So we're going to start with the light source. So put it on here, light works. Then we're going to have our ramp. Remember the short sides facing the light. Then we have our circular disc, and make sure that the normal line, one of the normal lines, arrows, is pointing towards the light source. Okay, so it's nice and sloped. Then we've got our stand. Make sure it's the stand that's flat on the bottom. We put it down, and then we have our slit plate, our slit mask, and then we're going to have our cylindrical lens. Okay, so let me show you how it's all put together. Setup. We're going to put the ramp short side close to the light source. The ray table with the degree side up, not the grid side up, and the normal arrow pointing back towards the light source. And then also make sure that the hole matches this notch. The next setup is we are going to use this with the flat side, and then we have our slit plate. Now we're going to put our slit plate on first, turn our light source on so we can see our beams of light. And we just have to have one of those beams of light match up with the normal line. So that needs to be done meticulously and precisely, because the results of your lab are going to depend on how meticulous and precise you are with that setup. Then you're going to use the slit mask to cover up all but one of the beams of light. So now we have our beam set up. Now we're going to use our cylindrical lens. We have two alignments. One is the flat side needs to line up with the component. And that needs to be done for both parts of the lab, not just this, and I'll explain that in just a minute. So we're going to make sure that that lines up with the component line. And the other setup is to make sure that the light coming out the other side lines up with the normal. So we need to make sure both are in alignment. And when both are in alignment, we're all set up and ready to take our measurements. So then what we're going to do is we're going to change our angle. These are angles of incidence. That's the angle coming in this way. So we have 10 degrees, and we set it up at 10 degrees, and then we're going to look to see, and I just bumped it, we're going to look to see what was the, how does the refracted ray come out the other side. So if we have 10, this comes out to be whatever that is, and then this is our incoming, this is our outgoing, incoming, outgoing, and we record what our outgoing is. Now, that's for the first half. The first half is with the flat side facing the light source. Now, the curved side, you do not have to change this to put the curved side on the line. The curved side should not be touching the line. Only the flat side should be touching the line. So on the second half of the lab, we're going to realign our cylindrical lens so that, again, the flat side is lined up with the component and that the light coming through matches the normal. And once we have that alignment happening, we're ready to take our measurements. Again, we go 10, and then 20, and then 30, and then whatever comes out this side, we're going to record that on our refractions table. And there's going to be a point where it's going to disappear. And you don't need to record anything else after that. So this one, it does not get recorded. That's a reflected ray, not a refracted ray. Only the rays that are on this side of the lens need to be recorded. After you're done, make sure you clean up, put everything away nice and neatly. If you have any questions, please let me know.